Crimea and characterising it as an armed conflict. It's really a symbolic move because Russia signed the treaty but didn't ratify the treaty. So it was always going to be difficult to haul its citizens before the court. But this is nevertheless an important move, an important symbolic move by a major power. The second big setback was from the Philippines, a country which had both signed the treaty and ratified the treaty. And following comments by a prosecutor from the court that Duterte's war on drugs, where thousands of people have died over the last few months, might fall within the jurisdiction of the court, Duterte exploded. He described the court as useless and said that he was likely to follow Russia's lead. The third setback involved the small West African country of Gambia. It described the court as, quote, the International Caucasian Court for the Persecution and Humiliation of People of Colour, especially Africans. So that's a major setback from a small but nevertheless important country.
And Gambia isn't the only country in Africa to withdraw from the court.
That's right. The first was Burundi, and then the huge bombshell last month, South Africa withdrew. Now the other countries we're talking about, they're all important, but they're hardly poster boys for the rule of law. South Africa is. It commands enormous influence on the African continent and great moral authority worldwide. And it decided to withdraw because at one point somebody who'd been indicted by the court, Sudan's President al-Bashir, had visited South Africa for a leaders' meeting, an African leaders' meeting, and there'd been a huge kerfuffle in South African courts between activists and the governments about whether or not they should comply by their obligations to the court or whether they should respect his diplomatic immunity. And that they thought the South African government decided that this was making their lives complicated. But also, South Africa said, look, the big powers are not bound. They don't bind themselves to the court, whereas many African governments do.
More on the Law Report on RN at 5:30. Damien, thank you.
Good talking.
Stay with us. Coming up next, forget the presidential